Soldiers of Shoot.
Soldiers of Shoot. I am Hollywood Edwards, and with me, the one and only, the bodacious Bobby. He is the Electric City Saint. I don't know where that came from, bro. The Electric City Saint is here. We are here for another Read 'em and Weep style Double Trouble WWE Monday Night Raw, Tuesday SmackDown. Saint, what's up?
Not a whole lot, bro. You?
Oh, not too much. Did you watch any Raw? Watch any SmackDown?
I just watched the Firefly Funhouse segment. That was it, which is pretty much, I guess that's a recurring theme here for me, because it's basically been like that for the last 3 weeks, I think.
Yeah, and I joined you this week. That's the only thing I saw was the Firefly Funhouse. So, but have no fear. We are going to read, thanks to WrestlingInc.com and Mark Middleton, the Raw results are right in front of me. No need to watch. We have them right here. So here we go. Are you ready, Saint?
Oh, man. I'm about as ready as I'll ever be, bro.
Okay, now, Raw and SmackDown this week were pre-taped due to the, they're in England, so due to the time zone. Yeah, these are taped, actually. The Miz is already out in the ring for Miz TV. We see recent happenings that have led to the steel cage match between Miz and Shane at Sunday's Money in the Bank. Saint, Money in the Bank already Sunday. These are the go-home shows.
Yeah, and looking at the we'll talk about it later, but look, when I saw the numbers for this, these are not good numbers going into a go-home show. You know, like, ay.
Okay.
I didn't even realize it was this Sunday.
Neither did I.
To be perfectly honest with you.
Okay, now listen. I'm reading 2 gigantic paragraphs, and I don't even care what is happening here because it's playa. It's the same setup that they do every week. It's Teddy Long coming out and making a tag match. Okay, so you got Shane, you got Miz, you got Elias and Bobby Lashley, you got Roman Reigns. They all come out. Long story short, Shane makes a tag match. Roman Reigns and The Miz defeat Elias and Bobby Lashley by DQ. Shane pulls Reigns off the apron for the disqualification. That's how the match ended. I don't know. I don't know what to say at this point.
I don't either. It's almost like laughable.
It's the same, right? Is this how many weeks now, Saint? Did this, guy A, guy B, and then guy C and guy D, and then a tag match? Is this 3-4 weeks in a row that the show opened this way?
It has to be, I think, and it's like, how many times can you see like Elias and Lashley team together? Like, I just don't want to see it. I really don't. It's like. They're basically like swapping the guys out. Now it's Shane instead of McIntyre.
Yeah, you know what it is? Do you remember those like ad libs? The books that they used to have.
I know what you mean.
What were they called? Mad libs or whatever. It would be like, it would say like the red fox, and then it would say verb, and you could just throw in the verb. But the point of it was you just fill out the proper contextual, word to put in, and then you read it, and it's funny. That's what this is. It's like wrestler A comes to the ring, and you just fill in the name. And then, like, the next week's script says the same thing, and you just fill in a different name. But the result is the same. It's the same stupid Mad Lib. All right, anyway. I guess there was altercation afterwards, whatever. They're brawling. There's a chair, whatever. Who cares? Still to come, Braun Strowman and Drew. Okay, good. We see Seth backstage. Okay, the announcers lead us to a lengthy video package. Seth Rollins and AJ at Money in the Bank. We will hear from them later. Okay. The announcers show us what happened with Braun Strowman dumping Sami Zayn in the trash last week. Charlie Caruso stops Braun now and asks if he regrets what happened. because critics say he could have seriously hurt Sammy. They're talking about you, Saint. Saint, did you say that? You said that, didn't you?
Yeah, I thought, honestly, I was surprised like they didn't like write him off or nothing. I mean, I know they're not going to do it, but come on, like seriously, like you could get it's like really seriously injured or even get killed from something like that.
Bro, this segment is nothing. Who cares? Back from the break, Sami Zayn is in Shane's office. I guess Shane runs Raw now. Whatever. Okay, whatever. Him and Sammy are being heels. Okay, Mojo Rawley versus Apollo Crews. Mojo.
Skip it.
New theme music for Mojo. You don't want to talk about the new theme music?
Oh, I didn't realize that.
I don't know.
What's it like?
I don't know. There's no description of it. That's terrible. Now, Saint, if you were writing this article, you'd be like, the new Mojo Rawley theme music. And then there would be like this big long dissertation for 3 pages about what it sounded like. It's not here. Anyway. Mojo Rawley wins. Great. Okay. Still to come. The women's fatal 4-way. Alexa Bliss is backstage on the phone ranting about her luggage issues. Bliss tells the person her ring gear was in the luggage, so they better find it. Nikki Cross walks up, a lot more soft-spoken than she has been in the past. It looks like Bliss has a new friend in Cross. Cross says Bliss can vent to her. She will listen. Bliss doesn't want to go back out and get laughed at by the fans. Cross mentions maybe the McMahons could find a replacement for Alexa Bliss in the Fatal 4-Way. Bliss turns this into Cross volunteering. Bliss says she will go to tell the McMahons that she has a replacement now. She walks off and Nikki Cross smiles. Thoughts?
None whatsoever, but I think this is funny that they mentioned that she can't find her ring gear, because the match a week or two ago when she fought Naomi, she basically didn't have ring gear on at all. She had the same outfit she wore for her Moment of Bliss her Moment of Bliss segment.
Interesting. Good pickup by you. I'm sure they'll explain that next week. Okay. Contract signing. Michael Cole first brings out Lacey Evans, who will challenge Raw and SmackDown Women's Champion Becky Lynch for the red title. He brings out Charlotte next, obviously the blue title. Okay, Becky 2 belts. Blair says all Becky will be able to blame is her stubborn pride when she bows down to the Queen on Sunday. Flair got the what treatment, and now more Becky 2 belts chants. Lacey Evans goes on about how...
Dude, I don't know how they got that over, that chant.
I know.
It's
so dumb. Evans goes on about how the universe deserves a proper lady to set an example. Okay, trash talking. Brawl breaks out. Becky applies the disarm her on Evans. Flair makes the save with a big boot. Evans assists as Flair lifts Lynch for a powerbomb. They drive Lynch down through a table and leave her laying. So there you go. The heels go over in this segment. Saint, thoughts?
I don't really have any, but it's kind of cool that they actually did a table spot for the women, because obviously they don't do it all that very often. And I guess in the realm of that segment, it actually kind of made sense. Like I could see that actually working there. So that's kind of cool, I guess. But nothing really too like monumentally exciting or anything, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, I got nothing on that. Baron Corbin defeats Ricochet in the next segment. Corbin tries to bring a ladder into the ring, but it backfires, and Ricochet uses it against him. So Corbin wins the match, but Ricochet may have lost the battle, but he hasn't lost the war. I don't even know why they're fighting. Okay. Anything there?
Yeah, I don't know.
Ray says... Oh, Ray is in the back in an interview. Mysterio. He says Joe crossed the line.
Phoenix or Mysterio?
They wish Phoenix. No offense to Rey Mysterio, but you know. Ray says Joe crossed the line by targeting his son after a loss. This is your big angle that you wrote for them. And you know how this finishes, but I don't. Ray says if Joe or anyone else has anything to say, they can come find him at Money in the Bank. Cesaro interrupts and says it's rude for Ray to talk about Joe when he's not there. Cesaro also knocks Ray for bringing his kid to work. Ray defends his son and brings up his training. Cesaro says Dominic actually looks more like Joe than Ray. He wonders if Ray knows Dominic is really his son. That's pretty good, actually. I like that.
Yeah, I like that too.
Ray attacks and they brawl around until officials separate them. End of the segment. All right, I like that. That's pretty good. Props to Cesaro for that line. And he's right, too. He kind of does look like Joe. What do you think?
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. And like I said, I guess if Ray's specifically mentioning that he's been undergoing training, I definitely think for sure that kid is going to be involved somehow on Sunday, like I said, and have some kind of turn.
Next segment looks like AJ is just talking with one of the girls backstage, hyping up the Money in the Bank, and it looks missable. Looks totally missable. There's nothing in the content that needs to be talked about. Fatal 4-Way, the girls. Naomi, Natalya, Nikki Cross, and Dana Brooke. Nikki Cross wins. After the match, Nikki Cross starts celebrating. Alexa Bliss heads down to ringside to celebrate with her. Bliss and Cross fold the ladder up and slide it into the ring. They stand the ladder up under the briefcase now. Cross starts climbing, but Bliss stops her. Alexa climbs up the ladder for the briefcase and poses with it on top. Bliss's music plays as Cross watches from down below.
I thought maybe she'd be like her lackey and sort of be like that, like how they've been using Mickie James for quite a while,
right?
With Bliss.
Yeah.
But I guess in a way they probably have realized that that's a tired, shtick for her. So I guess it makes more sense for them to kind of tease at this, like that they're going to be an alliance and then have them feud. So I don't even really care like what they do with it, honestly, because seriously, like I'm just not a big fan of her.
We're going to make you care, pal. We're going to make you care. Nikki Cross is good, pal. You're going to love her. We're going to make you love her. Saint, you're going to be watching Raw every week saying, I love your Nikki Cross. And you're gonna buy a t-shirt that says Nikki Cross. You're gonna talk about it on SOS.
Does she even have?
You're gonna pop me. You're gonna pop me when I listen to SOS. I don't know if she has a t-shirt. Probably not. If I had to guess.
Yeah, I'd say probably not.
Still to come. Braun Strowman versus Sami Zayn for Strowman's Money in the Bank spot. Okay, I did not know that. But next, Rey Mysterio versus Cesaro. Rey Mysterio wins. That's it. After the match, nothing. So I guess Cesaro was just thrown in there. I guess that at least they gave it a reason. They gave us a reason. He insulted, his kid or whatever. So that's why they had the match. Dawson says, what kind of weirdo voyeur films a man getting his anatomy shaved? Dash says it's normal and his friend needed him, but the Usos took it too far. Dawson says the ball is in the Usos' court. If they want to continue being a skid mark on society, then go ahead. But if they want to find out who really is the best tag team on the planet, he and Dash aren't hard to find, but the embarrassment of the revival stops right now.
They say that, but I'm sure they have some kind of ridiculous spot planned for them at the pay-per-view to humiliate them more. So
yeah,
I take that with a grain of salt. I mean, I realize that's them saying that, but I fear for the worst for what they do with that match on Sunday. I mean, realistically, those two teams combined, they should have a hell of a tag team match, but I think they're going to really muck that up with a lot of, McMahon ha-ha comedy spots.
Right. Mick ha-ha, pal. I
don't have much faith for that match.
It's called Mick ha-ha, yeah. Yeah, I love the ha-ha. Ha-ha-ha. I love it. I love seeing grown men act like they're children. Turns me on in their underwear, yeah. I like when they were in the shower together, yeah. Really, really got my rating up, pal. We see Rollins backstage, but we can't hear everything being said to Sarah Schreiber. Okay. He mentions breaking the internet earlier today, a reference to going public with girlfriend Becky Lynch on Instagram. Did you see this, Saint?
I seen that online. He posted a picture and said, I guess I'm allowed to post this now or something he said on there.
Now let's just take a moment here. Do you remember when we did that episode called the SOS Dirt Sheet? And we reported almost a month and a half ago that Seth and Becky were dating. You remember that?
Yeah, I do. That it seems like it was further away than it really was. But like you said, I think that was only about a month and a half ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, somewhere around there. Heard it here first. Tomorrow's news today. Saint. It's what we do here. It's what we do.
Hey, well, I mean, somebody's got to do it. We got to be on the front lines all the time. So somebody's got to do it, probably.
That was great. Great reply. Oh, that was to McMahon. Wait, let me reset. That was a great reply, Saint. You're kind of like my Paul Joseph Watson of wrestling. Back from the break. All right, now we can talk. It's time for Firefly Funhouse. Mercy and Abby. Ramblin' Rabbit is also there, despite what happened last week. I think that's great.
Yeah, they taped him up.
Love it. Bray has a secret this week. He ends up going into a dark teaser promo for the secret. The screen turns darker. The funhouse takes a creepy turn. Wyatt says the fireflies helping him warms his soul, but he still has some darkness in his head. But he knows how to harness it and control it now. Wyatt turns back around and reveals a pretty disturbing new look, like some sort of horror monster or Halloween creature. That's terrible. Who writes this shit? Mark Middleton from WrestlingInc.com. That's terrible. Anyway, Wyatt has shared his secret and it's terrifying. Okay. What did you think of this, Saint? This is the big... I'm assuming this was the point of the Funhouse to begin with. It is a new version of Bray Wyatt.
Yeah, I think a lot of people had fears about this, like I said, probably for the last couple of weeks now, and the payoff was there. I think you even said it last week that they have to do something this week, and boy, did they come out of the gates running with this, man. It's really incredible stuff. I love the new look. It reminds me, I don't know if you ever played this game in the past. I don't know if it was called Twisted Metal Black. It was a character called Sweet Tooth that had like sort of that dark, psychotic clown look to him.
Yeah.
And it very much reminds me of that. And then it also kind of has that feel of like, you know, Slipknot or like something out of like a Rob Zombie film. And dude, I really like it. I think it really fits for him. I think him reinventing himself really already is paying off very quick. I mean, there's so many, even as we see out of the reveal of this new version of him, they could go multiple ways with this and actually have him maybe even have split personalities and sometime even wrestle as like this, you know, the host of the Firefly Funhouse that we saw in the first 3 episodes, and then also do this. And like I said, it could be very, very, very cool. But I'm worried. I think you even said this last week. We're worried that they're going to ruin this with 50-50 booking.
Yeah.
And dude, I feel like, you know how he says, all you have to do is let me in?
Yes.
They need to change that to all you have to do is let him win. Because seriously, they got
that would be great.
They got to have this guy win a lot of matches and forget the 50-50 booking, forget, you know, standard procedures or whatever they do there. They got to let this guy have a big monster push and a big run at it. I mean,
yeah, I would actually keep him away. I would keep him away from the ring for a while.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. I was thinking they don't even have to have him have a match right away. They could just have him beat the shit out of people backstage and abduct them or something.
Yes.
You know, I think it'd be very cool.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's what I would do with him. Like, actually make him into a horror movie. Like, in his own little world. Just from his perspective, he's going to run around and do crap like he's in a horror movie. I would love to see that.
Dude, the one part that I thought was really funny from this, when they were slowly doing the reveal, the look on the puppet's faces was friggin' hilarious. Like the Abigail puppet, the mouth opened and the eyes got larger, and they kind of did that with the other two as well. Like they had like that shocked look on their face, like they didn't know what was coming. And dude, I thought little things like that really adds to the overall grandeur of that whole video, because dude, it's top level stuff, and you know why it's top level stuff? It's because WWE didn't produce it.
Exactly. Yes. They did not even direct it. It's Bray, and it's like his own little team that's running this, so that's pretty good. The look, I love the look, and you said the two, I don't know. Like, I was thinking I know everybody's saying the Joker, one of the comic books. Was it Arkham maybe or something? I don't know. But the Joker had more of a look like that. I'm not thinking the Joker. Maybe it's...
Yeah, me not really either.
I don't know. It might be Corey Taylor's mask in Slipknot. I can't put my finger on it, but the mouth. I've seen the mouth before somewhere, and I can't remember where I've seen it. But it's a really cool look for Bray.
It's weird that people bring up the Joker, like, because you said, I agree with you, that wasn't really the first thing that came to mind for me. But I think in one of the newer series, he like cut his face off and then like stapled it back on or something. I guess that's kind of where they're getting that idea from. But like, it doesn't really like look enough like that. Like I said, I think there's more influence from, like I said, that Sweet Tooth character, and you know, possibly like Slipknot, or even like the Rob Zombie horror films. I think there was a character that looked somewhat like that, but
yeah.
The Joker, I think, is a bit of a stretch.
Yeah, it definitely is. But that's probably, you know, normies out there trying to be the smarks and race to see what inspired it. But I know I'm going to be sitting like alone at, you know, whatever, 3 a.m. one night, and it's going to hit me. But not that it matters. Anyway, looks pretty cool. Cool look. You ready to move on from this?
Yeah, just one little quick comment. Bray Wyatt, too, apparently has lost a lot of weight. So, I mean, dude, with that new look and probably a better physique, I mean, realistically, there should be nothing really holding him back. I mean, he's got the mic skills. I think he's definitely improved, like, his physique. I think he'll probably be able to work a lot faster and be able to be more athletic. So, I mean, the ball's in WWE's court. Like I said, all they have to do is let him win.
Seth Rollins backstage for an interview. He says it's personal between him and AJ. Shows us footage.
Hold on a minute. Dude, didn't they already just have him backstage like 2 other times during this?
At least one time, yeah.
Yeah, oh my God.
Shows us footage from a NWA No Limits Wrestling indie show from 15 years ago, when they went at it in a match. That's interesting. Rollins says Sunday will be a statement match for him, not about proving anything to his friends or family, but about proving something to himself, the fans, and AJ. That this is Rollins' industry now. His show, and he's the backbone of this company. Rollins says he did look up to AJ 15 years ago. But when the dust settles on Sunday, AJ will be looking up at him. Interesting that they showed indie footage. What do you make of that? Who the hell talked Vince into doing that?
Yeah, I would love to know who did too, because that's very weird that they would do that, and I'm actually surprised that they would have the rights to that.
They probably don't. They probably had to get the rights. They probably had to get permission to use that. It depends. I don't know where NWA No Limits Wrestling. It's probably not even in business anymore. Whatever it is.
Yeah, like, I honestly wouldn't be surprised, because I personally, I've never heard of it before.
No. No, especially back then in the the early 2000s, Bruce Tharp, NWA. It was like they were just indie companies. I don't know. Braun Strowman versus Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn wins.
That's actually that actually kind of surprises me, honestly. What was the finish to this?
Let's see here. Falls count anywhere. Okay. They ended up backstage. Corbin runs back over, drops Braun with a right hand. Drew joins in for a double team. Drew grabs a ladder, rams it into Braun's ribs. Bridges the ladder from the ground to the top of a barrier. Braun fights Drew and Corbin off, but they bring him over to the ladder bridge. They drive him on top of it with a double team, snapping it in half with a hard landing. Braun goes to get back up. Drew hits him with a claymore. Drew and Corbin help Sami make the pin, also helping him keep Braun down. Sami gets the pin to win and Braun's Money in the Bank spot. After the match, Sami tries to get up to celebrate as he has the final spot in the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. Some fans are singing along with Sami's theme. Braun is helped to his feet after Corbin and McIntyre retreat to the back. Sami backs up, pleading with Braun, trying to escape. Sami goes up to the announce table as the announcers scatter. Braun chokeslams him through the table. And that's that. So for no reason, Drew and Corbin helped Sami?
Yeah, it's weird, but like I said, it reminds me of like what we said earlier. They just plug in, replace wrestler A with wrestler B, and then you still have that triple threat like heel tag team or whatever, makeshift faction, whatever the hell it's supposed to be.
It's so funny they have these guys like running around with each other constantly, but they refuse to actually put together a faction and like name it and give them a reason to be together. Makes no sense.
Yeah, I don't get it. I mean, you could even have it be like 5 people, like Zayn, Corbin, Lashley, Elias, and then who am I missing? McIntyre. There you go. That could be your 5 dominant, like heel, like stable. And they just won't do it. But they just have them be this like makeshift alliance or whatever it is every week, and I just don't get it.
Yeah, it's weird. That's why I actually said I better read this, because I thought maybe Sami Zayn was leading them as a faction, but I guess not.
Nope, they didn't think that far, I guess.
Nope. What'd they get, 2.3 million?
Yeah, it's goofy, and I don't understand how this is happening. It actually went up the last 2 weeks. I mean, it's still overall reality of it is they're way down, but it's like I don't know what they did the last 2 weeks that somehow magically it went up. Like no. I'm looking at like what we just talked about the last 2 weeks. There's nothing there, dude.
And it went up on a taped show.
Right. That's the weird. Yeah, that's even the more weird part about it.
Yeah. Spoilers are out there.
I'm very surprised that I even told you on Twitter. I'm thinking their numbers realistically definitely are going down on a taped show, and somehow I was proved wrong, bro.
Yeah. Double trouble.
That's got to be a fluke or something.
Let's see if SmackDown went up. Here we go. Reigns is out. Says Elias is a big problem, and he's going to take care of him. He introduces one of the solutions for Elias and introduces The Miz. Miz takes shots at Elias and Shane. Okay, here we go. Are we going to do the same thing? Let's see. Shane says Miz disgusts him, and he hates looking at him. So he's going to ban him from the building and from ringside tonight. Elias says underestimating him will be the biggest mistake of Reigns' career. Elias says at Money in the Bank, he will prove why Vince McMahon chose him as the biggest acquisition in SmackDown history. Shane reminds Elias it also stands for just WWE. WWE standing for Walk with Elias. Shane says it's time to remove The Miz and Reigns from the ring. He introduces a few other people who hate Miz's guts. Music hits and out come SmackDown Tag Team Champions Daniel Bryan and Rowan without their belts.
Yeah, that's very strange that they wouldn't. Uh, you don't think they'd make another hemp-based
Maybe,
like
maybe they are.
belt again, like a tag team version for them? Do you?
That's, I guess, very possible.
Yeah, I'm almost wondering if that's what they're going to do because otherwise I don't see why they wouldn't come out with their belts.
Shane, Elias, Bryan, and Rowan march to the ring as Reigns and Miz get ready for a fight. Reigns and Miz both get dumped to the floor, and the heels follow to keep the beat down going. The music interrupts. Out comes the Usos. Usos and Miz are here on the wild card rule tonight. The Usos well, what about Roman? I guess he's just on both shows. Who cares? The Usos attack and make the save at ringside until Rowan levels them. The brawl comes to the ring as the Usos, Reigns, and Miz fight back. They clear the ring as fans cheer them on. Reigns' music hits as he stands tall with the Usos and the Miz. Shane and his crew back up the ramp. There you go. There's your big open. Fatal 4-way. Orton, Ali, Andrade, and the Intercontinental Champion, Finn Balor. Andrade wins. Thoughts?
That's kind of interesting to see him win there out of them four. I don't know if he's going to be getting any kind of a title shot soon, or if they're giving him another push, or if that was just like random, okay, 50-50 booking. We'll have the one token heel go over this week.
Maybe.
I don't know, bro. There's like no meaning towards these matches or anything like that.
Afterwards, Andrade climbs a ladder under the briefcase. Ricochet's music hits, and out he comes on the wild card rule. Okay, so that's 5 people? Dude, this company blows, bro. It blows. Whatever the hell. Ricochet leaps onto the ladder, goes at it with Andrade. The fight ends with Ricochet clutching the briefcase on the ramp while Andrade recovers on the floor. Whatever. I guess, I don't know. Kofi and Xavier are backstage. Xavier says he has Kofi's back and will make sure everything goes smoothly during Kevin Owens' show tonight. Kofi wants Woods to stay in the back because Woods isn't at 100% right now. Kofi says he will handle things by himself. Give me your thoughts on Kofi versus Owens. Do you care? I mean,
I almost don't care because like I said, I have fears that they're just going to have Kofi be a transitional champion and they're just going to put Owens over. And he had an okay run in the past, but like Owens, I just don't see right now as a strong main eventer. I really don't, and I like him. I really do. So like that's me just trying to being honest.
Right.
I just don't see him as a very strong main eventer. And there's like they got Reigns there, they got all these other guys.
Right.
I don't know what they're doing.
Charlotte Flair comes out. It's just more stuff.
Just skip it, bro.
Skipping it. Skipping that because Lacey's backstage. It's just all bullshit. It's all them thinking it's hyping the match, but really is it? There's nothing there. They're not doing anything. They're treading water from last week.
I would actually say it's doing the opposite of building the match. It's actually making it less interesting.
Right. Another pre-recorded Aleister Black vignette. He says for his opponents who try and get inside his head, he guarantees them that they will not like the place that they try and venture into. Black goes on and ends the segment with a fade to black tease. What? Again, this is now the 4th week they're doing this, right?
Yeah, I believe so. 3rd or 4th week at least.
Yeah, so it's basically running the same as Firefly Funhouse. For them to already show us Bray and Bray's new gimmick, for them to not have done anything with Aleister in the same amount of time tells me they have no idea what they're going to do with Aleister. Would you agree?
Yeah, I don't think they have any clue, and I think that's partially why they're holding him off of TV. I mean, I guess it's good that they're at least doing something with the guy.
Yeah.
To keep his name out there, to remind you that he's there. But at the same time, it's like you said, right now, from the sounds of the promos, it's not really leading to anything.
Shane, Elias, Daniel Bryan, and Rowan defeat Roman Reigns and the Usos in a 4-on-3 handicap match. After the match, Shane and his partner stand tall. The Miz's music suddenly interrupts, and out he comes with a steel chair. This is basically the same show they just did on Raw. Did I just not read this?
Yep, you did.
I mean,
very, very similar, if not directly the same exact match.
Anyway, they replay the Firefly Funhouse. Next, we have Kairi Sane and Asuka versus Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville.
Who won that?
Paige introduces Sane and Asuka as the Kabuki Warriors.
Okay.
The newest and fiercest addition to the division. Yeah, the Kabuki Warriors. The Kabuki Warriors. Why? Because they're Japanese?
Yeah, that seems like the reasoning. I would love to know if there was any kind of backlash or any kind of scuttlebutt on Twitter about that name, because that's just as bad as the Viking experience. I mean, I don't get it sometimes. It's like, who thinks these are good ideas is what I would love to know. Like, who's the person that's like in charge of like naming these groups? Because
it's got to be Vince. It's got to be Vince.
Yeah.
Dude, I mean, all right, she's a goddamn pirate. Yeah or no? Is she a pirate?
Yeah, pretty much.
What the fuck does that have to do with Kabuki Theater? Anything?
It doesn't.
It doesn't.
It doesn't. I mean,
so you know what that you know what that is, dude?
Yeah, go ahead.
That's Vince seeing two Japanese girls together and going, Kabuki, pal. That's it. That's your answer.
It comes across that way for sure. I mean, seriously.
It makes no sense. None. That makes no sense.
Oh, man.
Dude. Yeah, no big deal. AEW's on TNT in 3 months. No big deal. Obviously, it's not a big deal because now we're naming Asuka and Kairi Sane as the Kabuki Warriors. Kabuki Warriors. Oh, my God. I can't even believe I'm reading that, Saint.
Yeah, it baffles me, and at the same time, like, how would you even chant that? Like, say you're actually a fan of those two girls, which they're very, dude, they are very talented women. They are two of my favorite women's wrestlers in that company right now. How realistically would you even chant that? Like, it doesn't even roll off the tongue or anything whatsoever.
I guess you can't. I don't know, dude. It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Come on, you're into big Asia. You're big into Asian culture. What's Kabuki Theater? Like, what is it?
Well, they utilize. I could see from one perspective with Asuka, she does kind of have the mask and sort of the robes, and they utilize a lot of like dancing, and usually it's slow, like rhythmic songs. And dude, nothing screams Kabuki about them besides her wearing that mask to the ring. That's it. And even then, like the mask that she utilizes, typically in Kabuki they don't have that much like detail or like paint to it, like hers do.
Right. They're it's like an expressionless kind of like face, right? Like,
exactly.
Yeah. Dude, she's a pirate. The one's a pirate. How about this, pal? The Kabuki Pirates. Yeah. Dude, he's got to be doing this on purpose. He has to be doing this shit on purpose.
Yeah, to me it almost comes off that way. It's very minimalistic, like knowledge of the subject. Same thing with like the Viking experience. That Vince McMahon has absolutely no clue probably what Valhalla is.
Right.
he'd have no clue. I mean, it baffles me because honestly, they already had a tag team in their lap with the Sky Pirates, which was Io Shirai and Kairi Sane, who actually were an established team on NXT, and they just decided to throw Kairi Sane with Asuka instead, and I don't get why they did it.
Kabuki.
I really don't get it, bro.
Like, dude, it's not even racism. It's like,
no, that's the funny thing. It doesn't even come off as racist. It just comes off as like I said, lack of
like
general knowledge of it.
Yeah, yeah, like you're a dummy. Like, oh, I've seen Asians before. Kabuki, isn't kabuki a word from Asia? Let's call them that. Kabuki. Like, it makes no sense, bro. He must be the dumbest son of a bitch on the face of the planet. If that's the case, like you literally have no knowledge of like anything.
Yeah,
I mean,
it baffles me, honestly. And dude, like I hate to say this because and maybe I'm quick to judge because I've only actually seen those two team once. They don't quite have as much chemistry as Io Shirai and Kairi Sane did.
Well, they were
because
they were trained together, right?
Right, and they actually have that friendship. Asuka, I'm sure they probably they have some kinship, of course, as they're only like two Japanese wrestlers on the main roster right now. So I'm sure they have that kinship. But I'm telling you right now, they probably aren't as nearly as friendly with each other as those other two were, and probably don't have as much chemistry.
I'm starting to think like if they brought both of them up and maybe Asuka changed it, like maybe they're a faction, like then maybe you can stretch it into that. If like Asuka would change them into like, instead of pirates, they would be like kabuki theater girls with the masks. But no, she's a pirate, bro.
It's funny too because like I almost didn't think we would take this much time on it, but it's almost like we have to address this because of how insane it basically sounds. It's like, oh my god,
I can't believe I spent that much time on it either. But you know what, dude? It's like that is a glaring reason why everybody thinks you're a joke, Vince. This is why. It doesn't make any sense to call them kabuki anything. She's a pirate, dude. A pirate. Like,
right.
Like, as goofy as that is, you have two Chinese girls or Japanese girls in NXT dressed up as pirates. Like, dude, what? Why? Is it a rib? Like, does he just do this stuff like to rib them? Oh, I'm going to show this Kairi Sane girl what it's like to be in America, pal. I'm going to show her what it's like to work for Vince McMahon. She's going to be a pirate. And then when she comes up to the roster, I'm going to call her a kabuki warrior. Like, why? What are you doing?
I think I already probably said this before, but they've officially fully run out of ideas. I mean, dude, I realize it's 2019. Every single thing has been done before. It's very difficult in this day and age to be original, whether it's music or wrestling or whatever have you. But still, it's like, how can you not come up with something better than that?
You know what's better than that? Asuka and Kairi Sane. There you go. There you go. Lars Sullivan, who cares? Kevin Owens, who cares? What? Was that it? Now, wait a minute. I gotta go back up.
Yeah, I didn't actually fully read the whole results, but I did kind of peek at it last night, and it sounded like they only had 3 matches on SmackDown.
Yeah, there's no match.
You'll have to correct me if I'm wrong there, but apparently they legitimately only had 3 matches.
1, 2, 3. They had 3 matches. That tells me they went long on some of this stuff.
Now, I got a question for you.
Okay.
Last week's Impact, how many matches was on that?
Oh, geez. What did they have? They had 3 in the first half hour, I think, didn't they?
Yeah, I think they did.
They did.
Oh my! This is proof that I said that Impact got more done in 2 hours.
Yep.
Or hell, even that first half hour than SmackDown did in 2.
Yeah, because on that show, you actually said the Jordan Grace match, you thought it brought the crowd down. And they had 2 matches before that. I swear that was like, I don't know, quarter of 9 at latest that third match was going on.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, they have a 2-hour show as well if you've never watched Impact before. And they did, I think they did double the matches in the same time span as that SmackDown. Unbelievable, bro.
Yeah, it is. I'm looking at this Owen show. Sami Zayn came out, attacked Kofi. So I guess they're putting Zayn and Owens back together. Let me see. And Kofi gets double teamed now, right? New Day's music hits. Out comes Woods. Sami and Owens bring Kofi back. Blah, blah, blah. That's it. That's your Double Trouble review. Dude, listen. I know I feel like we're doing a channel that covers wrestling. Okay? And I can't believe I'm going to say this, but the Kabuki Warriors was finally the last straw for me. I'm sorry, subscribers. I can't do this anymore. I just wasted 53 minutes here with Saint. We could have been talking about something good. We went through this because I feel like, we need to do it because nobody else is going to spend 5 minutes bitching about the Kabuki Warriors for you. But I don't know if I could do this anymore.
I don't know if I can either. And like I say it millions of times, I try to be very fair with this stuff. I really like Kairi Sane and Asuka. But I just I can't help but make fun of that team name. It's just god awful.
Man, oh man. I don't know anything about Kairi Sane. Let's just take a minute here. I love Asuka. Okay? I love her. I know she can't talk much. It's fine. Kairi Sane comes up. She drops that massive elbow. It's ridiculous the way the air she gets on that elbow she does. So I mean, she's all right. Whatever. I don't know much about her, but dude, I don't know how they did what they did to Asuka and think this is a good idea for Asuka. It goes back to the Becky tap. Because of Becky, they ruined Asuka and didn't give a shit about Asuka. She is arguably the best women's wrestler they have, in-ring technician. And you can put her up against Charlotte, and that's a good argument that you can have. But as far as a technician goes, that's about it. That's about as good as you're going to get. And they did nothing at the expense of Becky, getting Becky over at Royal Rumble. They took the Asuka character and put her in the middle of the ring and fired a cannon at her and set her on fire, and now she's dead. How you could do that to one of your champions just to get the redhead over because Conor McGregor's cool. You are insane. You are insane. And if you can't see it, just think about what they've done with her since. They took her off TV for 4 weeks. They brought her back. She did one interview where she said, "I made Becky tap. Don't forget I make Becky tap." And then what happened to her? They pulled her off TV again. The next time you saw her, she magically was in a title match with Charlotte, and they took the title off her again, blowing her apart with a machine gun in the middle of the ring. Just so they can get the title on Charlotte, just so they can get that title on Becky. So congratulations. Everything you did with that character has been blown to shit because you're an idiot who can't book simple professional wrestling. Asuka, dude. Kabuki Warriors. It finally broke my back. I'm done. So here we go. From now on this channel, if anyone wants to do any WWE coverage from here to the next future, whatever, the near future or the far future, General Stames, Daddy Cool AC, or the Electric City Saint, because I'm out. I'm tapping out. I'm Becky Lynch to Asuka. Go ahead, Saint.
Dude, when I saw like how this all transpired, it's absolutely insane. Like I said, I did not see her rebounding from the pre-WrestleMania fiasco like this. I mean, I even came on this channel and said that the idea I would have had for her would have been her to beat the shit out of the winner of the women's triple threat at Mania and establish her as like this big, heel, like that she's, even though she wasn't on the card, that she's still a major, proponent of that women's division. And here they do this nonsense. It's inexcusable, honestly. It really is. It's like, I never would have thought that this would be the one thing that would break you, but at the same time, knowing you, like, over the last few years, it makes sense to me that this would finally be the one that breaks the camel's back.
It's unbelievable to me.
It frustrates the hell out of me too, like I said, because I legitimately do like both of those wrestlers, and this is what they do with them.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. And a talent like that, you're gonna piss away. You're gonna set her on fire and piss on her to put it out. Congratulations, WWE. Maybe this is why. We talk about like we talk like this show is any other show. If I was reviewing Game of Thrones or Walking Dead or whatever the hell, I would have the same standpoint from characters and character protections and story arcs. Okay, what they've done to her is inexcusable. It's inexcusable. She was a champion. You decided to make that character one of the best characters, and you totally destroyed her for the sake of another character. Why?
You know what makes this even more insulting? Because I'm sure you probably didn't see this, but after this was like a WWE network, WWE like YouTube exclusive. They had a video where Paige is with those two, and she claims that the two women wanted to be called Kabuki girls, and she toughened it up to the Kabuki Warriors. You can't honestly tell me that those two wanted to be called that.
No, there's no way.
There's no freaking way, bro.
There's no way. And it's like you're saying, dude, she was already in a tag team. And that's, to me, that's McMahon going, well, we can't have 3 Asian girls on the roster. That's as simple as that. What am I going to do with 3?
I would agree with you.
Yeah. What am I going to do with 3 Japanese girls? Well, Vince, they're already a tag team, and we already have Asuka. Oh, who gives a shit? We destroyed Asuka already. She's not even viable at this point. Not going to bring 3. We're not going to have 3 little Asians running around. What am I, running an Asian daycare? What is this?
I hate to say this, but I'm concerned that she's going to get the Hideo Itami treatment.
Yep.
I really am. I don't even see her being relevant at all. It might get to the point where she just gets out of there, just like a lot of these other people have that are frustrated with that. Because somebody as talented as her, I don't think she's going to be satisfied for very long being stuck in a makeshift tag team like that. That's not going anywhere.
They did it to themselves too. I mean, there were 1,000 things that they could have done. I'll give you the solution. I just won't be the guy bitching. I'll be the solution guy too. Okay. Instead of having her tap and then going on and then pulling Asuka to pretend that the tap didn't happen so we as fans would forget it, and then rolling Charlotte out and having Charlotte take her title. Maybe why don't you just do this? Why don't you have Becky win the Royal Rumble, even though it was a travesty anyway, the way they booked it? Whatever. I'm going to give it to them, okay? Why don't you just have Becky show up on SmackDown the next week and go, you know what? I have some unfinished business. I have 3 months until WrestleMania. I am going to take that title from Asuka, and I'm going to beat Ronnie at WrestleMania, okay? I got 3 months. If I have to start back at the bottom, that's what I'm going to do. So you have whoever's running SmackDown on that given night after the Royal Rumble. You tell her, okay, Becky, first match, go beat whoever jobber was there at the time. And she does. And you run her up to Asuka, and then you have her beat Asuka. How hard is that? But no, they didn't do that. They had to play, let's go commit homicide to one of our characters, and that's exactly what they chose to do. Now listen, Saint, before we get out of here, back over on the WrestlingInc.com, WWE SmackDown draws record low viewership before Money in the Bank. Ready? Here we go.
Lay it on me, because I'm curious to know what the hell this number is.
This week's taped Money in the Bank Go Home edition of SmackDown, featuring the final hype for Sunday's pay-per-view, with a main event segment that had Kevin Owens and WWE Champion Kofi Kingston drew 1.827 million viewers. This is down 5.4% from last week's 1.9 million viewers, and is the lowest SmackDown audience for a non-holiday first-run episode in history. The only one that did worse was the New Year's Eve 2015 episode, which drew 1.6 million viewers, and was the final SmackDown on Sci-Fi. SmackDown was number 12 for the night in viewership on cable TV. All right? Buckle up. You ready?
Yeah.
It was behind, of course, the Warriors and the Blazers, the NBA draft lottery. Dude, the balls. Okay, the balls falling out of the machine. Okay. Hannity, Tucker Carlson, Rachel Maddow, The Five, Ingram Angle. Sports Center at midnight. Let that sink in, Saint. Sports Center at midnight. NBA The Jump. Last Word. I don't know what that's got to be politics too. And the NHL Conference Finals between the Bruins and the Hurricanes. Sports Center at midnight had more viewers than SmackDown. Now, I know that was probably driven by the NBA draft lottery, okay? But this is a company that just signed a $1 billion deal with Fox. And news came out this week that apparently the deal says that Fox is demanding 3.3 million viewers on a Friday night for SmackDown when it moves to Fox. They are currently on a Tuesday, drawing a 1.8 this week. Saint. It is May. It's May, bro. What is this going to look like when they're on Fox on Thanksgiving? The day after Thanksgiving. What's that number going to look like? How about Christmas? How about New Year's? You think they're going to pull in 1.8 million when they move to Friday night at 8 o'clock?
No, I don't even think they're going to be close, dude. I mean, I know you've told me in the past that you personally don't think wrestling fans are going out partying on a Friday or anything like that, but still, I can tell you right now, there's definitely them moving to a Friday. They're going to actually be, I think there's a big fear that they could be getting worse numbers than they already are, because I think there are going to be a lot of people that they're going to be out doing stuff on a Friday night. They're not going to really necessarily want to be, sitting home or whatever, just watching that.
Dude, let's face it. I said this to General Stames earlier today. We were talking a little bit about this. The East Coast, tri-state area, even down to White's area in the mid-Atlantic there, even down south, even head on over west to, Texas. What is for the majority, that age group doing on a Friday night in the fall? Where are they?
In the fall, I think a lot of people would be watching football.
There you go. High school football Friday. All the kids are at the dance, if you will. Right? It's the whole thing. It's the Friday. It's the parade and the game. And dude, that's what drives wrestling. The wrestling fan base is driven by those markets. I mean, dude, I know you might think that's a stretch. There's no way they're going to get 1.8 million viewers this October on a Friday night. I'm sorry. It's just not going to happen, especially holiday weekends. Forget it. 1.8, dude, it's May 15th as we record this. May 15th. Sports Center at midnight, bro.
Dude, I mean, even Rachel Maddow beat that. I mean,
they always lose to Rachel Maddow. Dude, this list here, let me see it. That whole Fox lineup in MSN, Hannity, Tucker, Maddow, The Five, and Ingram, they're always behind those shows. Even Raw is behind those shows all the time.
And that leads me to think that people think politics are more interesting than professional wrestling right now.
You know why? They are. You know why?
They are.
Let me tell you why. Because they have characters and they have storylines. Donald Trump is the best damn character we have on TV right now. Are you kidding me? Of course. And there's storylines out the ass. Oh, Robert Mueller. Robert Mueller apparently was on Boston's Mafia's payroll. Are you hearing this shit? How is WWE gonna roll out the freaking Kabuki Warriors and try and compete with the stuff that's going on TV? The NBA playoffs, the NHL playoffs, and you're rolling out Kevin Owens in a TV show main event. I'm so done. I'm so done with this. I can't do this to myself every week. I can't do it. I'm not even watching the show, Saint. What'd I do? I messaged you 2 hours ago. Hey, bro, you want to come on? We'll do some double trouble. Yeah, great idea. You could just say no, bro.
I don't know, bro. One of these weeks I might have to. Because I don't know if we could keep forcing ourselves to do this. I mean, who knows? Maybe I just like to torture you. I don't know.
I think I like to torture myself at this point.
Yeah, maybe.
You know what, dude? Whatever you have to say, you take it. I'm done. I'm done right now. You go ahead and finish out. Close us out. Do your thing. I'm done. Peace, everybody. Turn off WWE. Peace.
Yeah, seriously. There's so much better stuff going on right now that if you're a WWE fan, okay. But seriously, I'd highly recommend checking out more other stuff that's out there because there's just so much better wrestling right now, whether you're talking Ring of Honor or TNA, New Japan, AEW starting up soon. Forget about WWE for 5 minutes and seriously go and check out some of the stuff because there's so much better stuff out there. I mean, that's the best I could offer you. And I mean, I hate to say it, but I think a lot of people really, really need to get out of that mindset that WWE is the be-all, end-all. Because in the next coming months, I think that's going to be very quickly disproven. And that's basically going to do it for us tonight. If you like this, definitely hit us with a like, subscribe, share, whatever you want to do. I'm not going to force you to do it. But we have a lot more in store for you. And I'm sure even within the next week or so, I think we'll be having a bunch of other stuff coming out. So for Hollywood Edwards, I am the Electric City Saint. Thanks for joining us. And always remember to keep fighting the good fight.